need a Hell Yeah Pawpaw intro.
Hell Yeah Pawpaw podcast.
Dude, that's what we need right there. That is what we need. So, if you guys don't know yet, you guys are listening to Hell Yeah Pawpaw, and wow, that's popping. I am with Kyle Austin from Kansas.
What up, gang?
Go ahead and introduce yourself, Kyle.
My name's Kyle Austin. I live currently in Overland Park, Kansas. Country artist over here. Originally from southwestern Kansas. If anybody knows Kansas, over by Garden City, which I'm sure 0% of you do, but over there.
So, we got a whole interview kind of thing going on, and Kyle and I are alike in the sense that we are both just two struggling country artists. And so I'll go ahead and just kind of start a little bit about how I got to meet Kyle, because I'm from Columbus, Gallipolis, Ohio. So Kyle does a lot of YouTube. He has a lot of YouTube content, doing a lot of covers, and also just like some regular vlogs and stuff like that. But he's, in my opinion, I think he's kind of comical. He's got a good thing going with his country music, as well as he's got, you said Coffee, Chords, and Country?
Yes, sir. That's my my Twitch morning show. Every weekday morning from 9 to 11 Central Time.
That's dope. That's dope. So, I, being a performer before COVID happened, was looking up, if we're going to cover a song as a band, I will look up ways to do it, especially if it is a female song. So one of my favorite songs is I Hope by Gabby Barrett, and the only guy that covered it that, in my opinion, sounded good was Kyle. And right away I watched that video, and I was like, well, I'm gonna creep on this guy's stuff. Like, he's got some really good content. Like, this is dope. And so I ended up like subscribing to him. That's not something I typically do. That, I know that sounds mean. I typically forget to. It's not that I don't support young entrepreneurs.
Also guilty. Like, as a YouTube content creator, like, also guilty of like.
It's hard. Like, and I like now, like, I understand, especially like starting all of my content and stuff. It's just like, now I see like why every time you watch a YouTube video, they got like subscribed probably 50,000 times in a 3-minute video. But I ended up here in the last month or so deciding that I wanted to do a podcast and potentially do some like YouTube content. All of it based around country fun and for the people who are the aspiring young country artists that don't really have like a mentor per se. Because, I mean, I didn't have a mentor. I had to learn everything on my own. So that is the long-winded story as to how I met Kyle. But Kyle, I got some questions for you, because there's some stuff that like I still would like to know. So we already started off with talking about where you're from. So what all do you do per se with your music and all of your other content? Can you like wrap it up and explain to us what all is going on with all that stuff?
Yeah, I have like 9 whiteboards over here, so it's pretty easy. I have literally one that has like every social media that I do stuff on and the stuff I'm supposed to do, in case like I'm like, what am I gonna do with today? I look over, I'm like, did I do all those things? Okay, if not, I have something to do. I'm on pretty much every like social media outlet I could think of, and I try to make yeah, dude, it's like I said, I have a whole ass whiteboard over here.
That's awesome.
But like anything you can think of, like where people can post content, I try to be on, and I try to make sure I make the content on that different from any of those other social medias, so people aren't like, I can get, these photos on Instagram, on Facebook.
Right.
Like my TikToks are all different. I don't post them on Instagram and stuff like that. So there's a reason to follow me on all those different social.
Right. I think that's really smart, if you ask me.
I'm on Twitch, which is a streaming service. I do, like we talked about, a morning show called Coffee, Chords, and Country every weekday morning from 9 to 11. And then after everything's done throughout the day, I add all these instruments to like songs. I have a looper down here. I add all these instruments to songs, like while I'm performing on Twitch. So Like, hopefully we can get a kit for that.
So, okay. That was my own curiosity, but I also, first of all, you guys need to go check out his YouTube channel. Check out all of his stuff, but kind of what I'm talking about is like the perspective that I have, and it's his YouTube, which is Kyle Austin Music, correct?
Yes, sir. Most things are Kyle Austin Music. The only thing that's different is Twitter, and it's totally Kyle. It's a joke on Totally Kyle from
the Amanda Show, bro.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys need to go check that out. I really enjoy his covers.
Thank you, man.
I think he does a really good job. When he says full production, like I think that, in my opinion, or not in my opinion, I will scratch that out. Personally, I thought that you kind of had like a band of friends, like people that would come in there and just kind of, and I think it's pretty amazing that you do all of that yourself.
Thanks, man.
So I got a handful of questions for you. So first of all, why, when, how, what inspired you to start your music? Like, when and how did you do it? Did you have kind of like a base beginning that you're like, yep, here's where it happened and this is why I started?
I've always wanted to, like, my parents would take us to like all kinds of concerts and stuff whenever we were younger, smaller stuff, just local stuff. But I've always wanted to like either get a drum set or a guitar, and I never thought I'd be able to do any of those things. But my grandpa played guitar. He taught himself how to play guitar, and he wrote and sang country songs in his own band. And he got me one whenever I was 10 years old. He got me a guitar, and then from then on, him and we would travel every week to a different nursing home, and we'd go play country music for the people there. And then, like, once every month, we'd set up a thing in a venue in our hometown, and we'd let whoever wanted to come just come listen. We'd play music up there. So it was mainly from him. And then my brother also played music. He played the fiddle and he plays the drums. But yeah, we grew up playing music together. I played music with him all the time. And then I just like continued to just play all the time. But I kind of gave up, not necessarily gave up. I still performed a little bit, but I put it on the back burner like 4 years ago. I had my own construction company, and then 2 years ago, I got in a car accident on the way to a job, and I broke my spine.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. It wasn't that bad. Like I walked out of the hospital, but I broke my spine in two places, and I couldn't like really go back to work. So I started just recording music and playing, trying to play out. I was playing at like open mics and going to like friends that I knew, and they'd let me up on their breaks and stuff. And then like at one point somebody said, can you do 3 hours? I was like, yeah, I can do 3 hours. Like, I'll pay you $150. I was like, $150?
That's like the golden paycheck for everyone.
Dude,
starting out.
$150?
I listen to a lot of different genres, and I definitely think that it all is transparent in the country music I play, because it's just, there's a lot of influences. But I guess my question is, what all, first of all, what all music do you listen to? What kinds do you enjoy? And if it's country, like what kind of country? And then like, if you had influences, give me like 3 of them or 5 of them.
Cool. Yeah, so first off, I did want to say, on the morning show, in the beginning, like we just talk and drink coffee and listen to music, and we listen to your songs. Just so you know, we bumped those.
Oh, that's dope. I appreciate that, man.
I probably should have asked before I went and did it, but
No. You're good. I think that's awesome.
So I'm pretty well all over the place too. I don't think there is a single, I mean, there probably is, but on the top of my head, I can't think of a single like genre I hate. But like I super love pop punk.
Is pop punk, is that kind of like Fall Out Boy?
Yes, Fall Out Boy was like early pop punk. Their early stuff was like, that's pop punk for sure.
Okay.
Sugar We're Going Down Swinging, that's like pop.
Okay, dope. I like that stuff too.
Yeah, but it's like grown into such a thing that's like, This is gonna sound really weird, but it's like really meaningful poetry with like just badass guitar riffs and like syncopation on guitars, drums, and bass. If you've heard my song Outlaw, in the chorus there's like a syncopation of the bass drum and guitars where they all just hit the same like rhythms. Like that's pop punk.
Dude, I think that's awesome. So if you're so into that, like, why country music? Is that just all because of your roots, kind of? Because I mean, that's what it is for me. I listen to music all over the board.
Like, I love country. Country's my definite like main thing that I listen to. I listen to it nonstop. But like my brother was heavy into like, you know, heavy metal and stuff. We grew up listening to that, and then we kind of like started to go our own ways. We're me and my brother are 16 months apart, so we're pretty close.
Okay.
But like we started to go kind of our own ways musically in like high school, and we started to, you know, figure out what we liked separate instead of listening to the same songs all the time. And so that's whenever I started to like delve into like pop punk and like A Day to Remember. Do you know who that is?
Yeah. Yes.
I listened to them heavy in like high school. But yeah, we started to go our own ways, but I've always listened to country, and like I grew up playing country with my grandpa, and like I have a cousin who lives in Nashville that's like also chasing the country music dream. So like I've been surrounded by nothing but country for
right
I can remember. But country's definitely my favorite. It's my one true love, and it's also like the voice I have best suited for. I'm a baritone.
Yeah.
So like
No,
I can't sing like
sure.
those high pop punk things or anything like that. So,
But
yeah.
I think that's dope, dude. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we're going to play Outlaw, Kyle's song that's on his is it an EP or is it an album?
I would think it's 10 songs. I think it's an album.
10 song album. That's an album. Okay, so we're gonna play Outlaw by Kyle on the break. You enjoy that? Look it up, download it, stream it, and we will be back for some more Hell Yeah Pawpaw podcast.
Hell Yeah Pawpaw podcast. Well, she said this house ain't big enough to keep hold of the both of us. She took my pictures off the wall, said dead or alive, she don't care at all. Her daddy says I'm gonna get it bad. Her sister says she's twice as bad. Her mama don't wanna see me around. Well, it looks like I'm an outlaw now.
Hell yeah, Pawpaw, and we're back, and we just cracked a second Mountain Dew. you just listened to Outlaw by Kyle Austin. And Kyle, where is this available?
It's available on any major streaming service: Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, anything you think of.
Get it anywhere. Did you use CD Baby, or what did you use to get it up there?
TuneCore.
TuneCore. Okay.
I have a friend who he just like records people in the Wichita, Kansas area, and he recommended that one to me, and that was, I mean, I didn't have any idea, so that's the only one I knew at the time.
Dude, you're just like me. It's so funny because like artists, even though like they have their own methods, it's still the same concept. I mean, yeah. I didn't know anything. What did I do? I went on Google. I was like, how can I get my songs the easiest and fastest way? And I think maybe CD Baby sponsored it, and that's how it came about. But that's dope. And we're going to get into that for all of you young aspiring artists. We're going to, in my opinion, I think this is probably going to be one of my favorite podcasts thus far, because we're going to talk about a lot of what I intended this podcast to be, and it's for the young aspiring country artists and the independent artists that are just trying to chip away at the same dream that we are. And Kyle and I have a lot in common in that sense.
Yeah, something that I'm sure that we would have loved to listen to.
I could, in my opinion, had I known what I know now, I think I could have saved easily 2-3 years of my progress. And it's not, I don't do it for progress. I do it because I enjoy doing what I do and living this passion. But on the flip side, like, I want to be that resource and use other artists as that resource, and give young aspiring artists the resource that I didn't have, you probably didn't have. So Kyle, let's talk about your album. Man, I think it's killer. I listened to it. One thing that if I had any kind of I don't want to say, is it commentary comments? If I had, no, not even criticism. Like, it's all good. It's like if I were to review it, I really enjoyed how when I listen to an album start to finish, and like when I want to dive into the songs, I look at the overall compilation of the songs and the style in which they are recorded, and I think an album should have flow, front to back, side to side, as well as still riding the line with incorporating different. I think every song should be unique and should sound different, but I think that as far as the album comes together, I think that it should all flow. You're not going to have one country bumpkin, Western outlaw song and then one Sam Hunt pop song. You know what I mean? Like, not that either or is better than the other. It's just like it should all flow. And I think that your album does that. And especially after talking about kind of your influences and roots earlier as far as music goes, I think it's all evident in that album, which I think is just freaking awesome. So tell us, I don't know if you mentioned it on here earlier or just in our conversation. You said that you recorded it in 15 days.
Yeah. I gave myself about 3 months. I set a deadline within 3 months. I released a single, which is Kearney County Kid, song about my hometown and my grandpa and our experiences together and stuff. I released that song back in March. Let's see, March, April, May, June. Yeah, about 3-4 months. And I was like, okay, so I got to have this done by July 15th. This is one song that's already done for the album. So, from here I can just, record the other 9. And through, like, right after I released that is whenever, like, COVID hit hard, quarantine came. And I was like, well, I mean, I got to make money. I got to stay alive through all this. And, like, I got to make sure I can continue to keep doing this. So I kind of put the album on the back burner. I was like, I got time. Don't even worry about it. I got time.
Right.
And I put it on the back burner. I was like, I got to really, really push social media hard. I got to really, like, put, like, TikToks out. I got to make even more YouTube content.
Right,
gotta,
right.
Like, double down on, like, the quality of it. And, like, I got to stream on Twitch and Facebook. And, like, so I was, for, like, a long time, I was doing that really hard. And I kind of got in the flow of that of, just working that hard on all those things. I was posting probably on Instagram, like 13 times a day. And, which is insane. That's way too many photos. Who even takes that many photos? Not me. I don't know where I got 13 photos a day to post. But, yeah, so I got so, like, heavy into that. By the time June came around, I was like, I haven't done anything.
The old procrastination, my man. Every artist has it.
It was just like my my homework in high school. It's just wait till the very last second and do it all in one night.
So you were saying, you said that in that 15-day span, you actually you either needed 3 more songs or you wrote 3 songs in that 15-day span and produced those 3 new written songs, and one of them was Outlaw, which is the self-titled song for the album.
Yeah, the title track.
Title track. I said that all backwards, but
Yeah.
I think that's sweet. And if you guys look up this album on Spotify, Apple Music, his website, YouTube, whatever, you're going to see that flowy mullet, a cowboy hat,
Yeah.
and a tattoo across his shoulders that says Outlaw while he is sitting in a makeshift pool.
Yeah, it's a pallet pool.
I want to hear about this pallet pool, and I want to hear about how it came into existence.
Yeah. So, the pallet pool. My friends and I had gone golfing. It was like the first day of summer. My friends and I had gone golfing, and as soon as we finished that, we started in the morning. It was like getting super hot, so we're like, dude, we need a pool. We need to go get an inflatable pool, something we could sit and drink in, cool off, have it for the rest of the summer. So for about like 3-4 hours, we were searching throughout the entire Kansas City metro area looking for anything. Even those like little kiddie plastic pools. We're like, can we cut them up and like use Flex Seal and maybe like put 3 of them together or something? Like we were coming up with dumb ideas. We were desperate, and we couldn't find anything. So I was like, you know what? Just let's get on Facebook Marketplace. Let's find like people getting rid of. I'll build something. And luckily, we found somebody who was giving away like a bunch of free pallet wood. So I was like, that'll work. Let's go grab it. We grabbed it. I was like, by the end of the day, boys, we're going to have a pool. We went and got a tarp. And I put it all together. It's got like a couple decks on it. It's got a bar. And it's just this tarp that's been stapled in, and I've like trimmed it up so it looks nice. But actually, we just got a filter pump. It just came in the mail today.
So this isn't just some bullshit. Hey, we want to drink in a pool. Like now it's high tech. We gotta.
I'm way more proud of this like pool. Like this pool's better than any inflatable pool I could have ever purchased.
It's custom made, man.
But also at the same time, it's so much worse. Like it's a tarp inside pallet wood. So
I'll tell you what.
There's obvious problems there.
I have this recorded via video as well. So if you're watching this, we're just going to go ahead and throw up a picture of this this pool. I'm hoping that maybe Kyle can send me some pictures before and after. And then obviously whenever I just played Outlaw, you just saw the album cover. But what has been most beneficial in terms of growth, we're going to talk about maybe breakthrough moments that we've had that really just exponentially just grew our own personal brands. And then, as I mentioned before, I want to talk about a couple of painful lessons. So I'll let Kyle start this one off. Kyle, what do you think 5 essentials are if I said right now today, I want to do country music and I want to aspire to sell out arenas, I want to get a record label, I want someone to know who Devin Henry is. What are 5 essentials you think that today I need to have in order?
If you're gonna start out, I'd say the absolute first thing you need to make sure you have is decent equipment. If you're gonna go out and perform, coming from the guy that didn't have decent equipment,
right?
You need to make sure that whenever you go to perform, you have the correct equipment that's going to make you sound as best as you can. Like I had like a one crappy speaker that was like muffled and just garbage.
Yeah.
And like a guitar that I'd had forever, but it like couldn't keep up. So people didn't care what I was doing, you know?
Right. If I could just add to this real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because this is actually something I've not mentioned. This is not a cheap hobby. Okay. Yeah. This is not cheap. And if you are truly wanting to make it or something to come of yourself, your music, your name, your money needs to be just as invested as what your heart is. But I mean, I'll tell you right now, you just mentioned equipment. I started a band, and I will say a lot of the places I play, they run their own sound. But on the off chance that they don't, I'm responsible for that sound. And I'll be damned if I'm going to pay someone $250 every gig from my pocket that I'm making. So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to have to do it. So all of you guys that are listening to this, Sweetwater credit, Guitar Center credit, musician's friend, that's going to be your best friend. You can figure out your own financial situation, how you want to run that credit, how much you want to go in debt, how much you want to save. That's on you. That's your own math. That's your own finances. But I'll tell you right now, if you're going to start it, get the good shit and get the stuff that works fine.
And I will say this because it's going to kind of come off like we're scaring them like off from the idea a little bit.
Yeah, and I
will say this, work what you have for as long as you can, but it's an important thing to make sure you get the decent equipment.
And here's another thing that I was actually talking to my dad about this like 2 days ago. Not everything expensive is good, okay? Let me tell you something. My first acoustic setup was $200 altogether. I've had it for 5 years. Does everything I need to do. $200, and you're looking at an investment that's going to pay for itself
Yeah.
in one gig. The long-winded thing is, get the stuff you need to get. Don't sell yourself short. On the flip side, Rome was not built in a day. I'll tell you right now,
Yeah.
I didn't just drop tens of thousands of dollars on everything together, because I also think there's experience in learning each thing that you're using as you go. Because like you can just get all this stuff, blow all your money, and not know how to work it, not know how things work, and it just looks like a shit show in the end. So like Rome was not built in a day.
100%. I think you said it perfectly with Rome's not built in a day. And also, like you said, your acoustic thing is like $200 is what you said. And
Yes.
It's perfect. It's about doing your research and knowing what's going to be best for you and getting the right equipment for you and what you're trying to do. Like,
Yes.
don't go out and buy $2,000 worth of equipment because we said get the good stuff. Just get something that is going to be good for what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Don't skimp, because it's like buying cheap toilet paper, man. You're gonna pay for it in the end.
Yeah. So Kyle, what do you think your like? Let's go back to the essentials. What's your second essential?
I think the second essential is you gotta have a set list that is solid, and you gotta have songs that you like, that you know they give off your style, but you gotta make sure you're playing for the audience. You gotta make sure you have a good set list that's gonna make people enjoy your show.
A fine line that I have learned is a fine line that you ride all the time is when you're playing live. Do you want to be a country music cover band in the back of a bar, or do you want to be your own singer-songwriter that's going to have your own original hit songs that people sing back at you? That is one of the finest lines, and you will always, especially with country music, you're always going to write it. You go to a country concert, Luke Combs still plays Fishing in the Dark live.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like it's normal to do it, but I will say, just to add on to that set list part, is learning how to play covers that is your vibe. It's your brand. Like, even though you're not Mitchell Timpani or Morgan Wallen or Luke Combs, like I'm sure that like there's a combination of those artists, if you consider them your influences. You can play there's like specific songs that is your brand, that you're putting your own style with it. So like for me, for instance, like I play more poppy and rocky country, not a whole lot of outlaw. So you're not going to see a lot of outlaw songs on my set list. That doesn't mean it's bad, but you got to fit. If you're wanting to sell a brand and a style, you need to stick within that realm in building your set list. With that being said, I can acoustically play probably 400 songs, and a lot of them I don't have them written down on paper. It's just memory. You build that bank. But I like my band, we probably know 60 to 70 songs as a unit, and all of our shows stick around 30 to 35 songs for your set list. So like a lot of those gigs, if you have not played a gig yet, typically, and I don't know how it is for you, Kyle, but for me it's like 3 to 4 hours a show. And so 3 to 4 hours of music is between 35 songs. So that's just a good thing to keep in mind. And then an hour's worth of live music is about 12 songs, depending on what songs you play.
Kind of the point I was trying to get to is you got to make sure for those 3 hours, you're going to have the audience entertained. So, I think one thing that the artists I see struggling the hardest are the ones that are like, I don't do this. There's no way I'll perform this song. I'm like, but that's what people like. I know you don't like it, but you're playing for them. But,
right.
And it's
like Snakes and Sparklers on Joe Dirt.
You ain't got no Husker do's, Husker don'ts with or without the scooter stick. I got this blonde
Shove him up frog's ass, make it go boom.
Yeah, I got the blonde mullet and everything, dude. I may as well be Joe Dirt. But it's all what you want from it. Those people, they may just enjoy being able to perform the songs they like. If that's what you're trying to get, That's fine. You should definitely do what
Yep.
you want. Forget anything that I say, forget anything that anybody else says. Do what you want in your heart. But if you want to perform for more people, you want to perform more, you want to gain a following, you got to make sure you play songs that the crowd is going to enjoy.
I mean, you are the entertainment, so
Yeah.
entertain.
But
And
Yeah, I also agree with staying in the realm of like what your style is. Like, I mean, I also go out. I play like Billie Jean and
but as long as you're putting your own brand on it,
yeah.
if it's your own sound, that's a-okay. Someone told me, I was like, what are some criticisms? What is I said, I asked this person, I said, what is some criticism you can give me, or any kind of help? And he's like, I think everything that you play is just absolutely great. Like, you are onto something, like you need to do that. And he's like, however, you need to develop your own sound. And he's like, don't sing each song just like the person on the record sings it. Sing it in your own way to where someone hears it and it's like, well, damn, that's like, he made it sound like it's his song.
Right.
And he also said, in the meantime, be writing original music. And that takes time to kind of develop your own style in that too. But
Yeah.
he told me, he said, if you're lucky, you will never find your sound. And I thought that was very resonant. I thought that was interesting. So that's just a little tidbit. So what do you think another one is, Kyle?
I think probably at least this one's been the most important for me is having a support system, like your friends, your family, whatever it is. I have an amazing support system where I have friends that'll like go to shows and like shoot footage for me or take photos, or like they're willing to like I play a college bar in Lawrence called Bullwinkles, and they'll walk around, shoot vlog footage, and like give out free T-shirts to people that are singing along.
That's
like,
dope.
Like, you got to have a support system, because at least it's been like super important to me, and it's meant a lot to me to have them. It's made, I think, a difference in not only my social media but also my presence at shows, because people will like view me differently if I have somebody walking around with a T-shirt going like, "Hey, you're singing his songs, here you go."
I agree, totally. And treat those people nice. And also, if those people, like, they have their own interests, pay it back, pay it forward. Like, if if there's people that are very dedicated into coming to your shows, if they have a small business or if they have something that they're passionate about, make a freaking appearance. Give back. And then it's just, I'm about parallel growth. I'm not about one person growing and everybody else. So pay it forward, pay it back. What do you think about that, Kyle?
I think like one of the best, like, and it has become like support system for me, is like a lot of the people that go to my shows and a lot of the people that help me the most, besides like the core group that still continues to help me, is like the musicians that I met along the way that are also about parallel growth. Like, just what we're doing here is like parallel growth, but it's also us like supporting each other.
I think there is a lot of power in artists supporting other artists, and you learn that from the realest motherfuckers out there. And I know that if, in my opinion, some of the most successful musicians, it's not about them. It's not a rat race to the top. It's let's all do this together and we can grow together. Because there's something that that I don't know. There's stuff that I know that you don't know.
And honestly, like, as good as you are, whoever you are, as good as you are at creating by yourself, having like any sort of collaboration is just gonna like change you, or like it's gonna change. You're gonna come up with something totally new or different, So like collaboration, working together is like, I think, so important, especially if you're aspiring to be original.
Right. I think that's probably been my toughest challenge, if I'm being honest, is trying to meet other artists that have that same goal. And believe it or not, like, if you're an outsider, I think you and I were talking about this earlier. You got your local acts, those are the people that sit in your hometown bar and play. Then you got your regional acts, the people that travel around your region and play. And then you got state acts. And let's say that you grouped all those together. You're looking at maybe 50 to 100 artists, musicians, bands, if that. And even though that community sounds so large, hold on one second, my camera just went out. even though that sounds so big, music communities are actually really small. It's kind of like being in a high school. There's 350 people in your high school, but you know someone's name or you know a little bit about someone. Um, and my absolute biggest like pet peeve, struggle, whatever, is like all these people that like want to run my name in the ground or run others' names in the ground, and it's just like a rat race. It's like cutthroat. It's like, if it's not helping me, piss on these people. And that is the wrong thing to have. Like, it's so difficult because like I would love to play shows with other artists. I mean, a lot of my music has a featured artist in on the track, and it's just like, there are people that it's just like, what can they get out of you? This is how great I am. And then once they get it, it's like, piss on you. Like, I don't need you. And that's not you. And what's so funny is a lot of those musicians that have done that to me, they've reached their ceiling, because there's only so far you can go that way before you piss off enough people, or you've burnt your bridges with people that can grow parallel with you. You know what I mean? When you cut that off, you're just hurting yourself.
Yeah, it's like, it's not a competition, although it seems like, or people like point out it's a competition or something. It's just like The Voice or anything like that. Like, those people are singing against each other, but they're harmonizing, and they're
right,
like giving each other parts or like riffing off each other. Like, they understand it's not, although it is one against the other, they're doing it together. Like, they're both benefiting from this. And even though that's more of a competition like example, it's us working together. And it's not that like I'm selling guitars and you're selling guitars, so we're selling to the same group.
Right.
It's like we're both selling music. Everybody loves music.
And the thing is, it's art. Like, you can paint a picture this way, I can paint a picture a different way. You can hang them both in the same building. It's like, well, damn, both these look really cool. I mean, there's a reason that the country music charts they don't have just one spot. You know what I mean? And there's a reason your iPod does not have just one artist. It's because everyone's got something to put, to the table. It's not a rat race. Even though you can make it, so can this artist, so can that artist. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I could rant for hours and hours and hours. It pisses me off to the nth degree. It's like, let's just grow together. So like, I really do appreciate your time. I guess my thing would be, as far as your support group goes, be a good artist, treat other artists nice. And I'll be honest, like, I've had some of my most success from helping other people. And I don't help people just because I get something out of it. If I look back at every successful thing that I have done, it's typically been a result of making a connection and being a damn good friend back to someone. And it's just that parallel growth. And that to me is what is going to speed up your rat race, if that's how your mindset is. But What do I know?
Yeah. Why would you, I don't know why you'd like try to make sure somebody was turned away from you, or I don't know why you'd, especially as an artist or somebody that wants to have people like you, why would you turn anybody away?
Right.
Any single person, especially somebody that has their own platform. Like,
it's ridiculous. And it's not, I swear this isn't me shit talking. It's just me explaining that, like, I said the do's and don'ts. I'm going to tell you a don't, because it hurts you. And like, I'm not saying that to call you out. I'm telling you because you are physically creating a ceiling for yourself that there's not going to be any point of return. So be good to your support and support other artists. And it's not hard. And like, I know that sounds so cliche, but be a good person, and I promise you'll be a hell of a lot more successful. Be real and be transparent. You know what, Kyle? I'm gonna steal one from you. I'm gonna take one that I think is an essential.
Okay.
You have to have thick skin. I don't care how talented you are. You're always going to have some hater saying some stupid shit about you. I could think about Luke Combs. Luke Combs showed up to Nashville trying to get a record deal, and he pitched Hurricane and pitched She Got the Best of Me and pitched another song. I can't remember what the other song was. And those record label execs looked at him and said, "You will never make it in this industry." Damn. So I'll tell you right now, words are just words. Bullshit is bullshit. So if someone's talking shit about you, like, that don't matter. You shouldn't be doing it to please other people. You should be doing music because you love to do music, and this is your freaking dream. So, and be real with yourself that probably a lot of those people talking that shit are just jealous because you're out there chasing your dream and they're too chicken shit to chase theirs. My thing is, like, if you like tap dancing, go tap dance. You know what I mean? If that's your passion, do it. So I don't know. You just have to, in my opinion, starting out, you're when you do something that's a little out of the norm, it's going to put a target on yourself, and you're going to get negative feedback. But that doesn't mean you quit what you're doing. That means if you are bad, grow from that, and if you aren't bad, piss on them. Be done with it.
And coming from a person that, like, especially originally starting out, wanted to try so hard to make sure that I was doing something that, like, other people enjoyed or liked. Like, at some point I understood, like, forget about what they think. Like, if you're doing this for yourself, you got to do what you like, and you got to do it for you. You can't do it for a single other person, no matter what they say. As soon as I, like, although I was enjoying what I was doing and I was still having success doing it that way, it's just like a totally different vibe for me and a totally different, like, love/chase. As soon as I understood that, it was like, fuck what they think. Like, this is for me. I don't care what anybody else says.
I think at some point it clicks, and once it clicks is where the real beauty starts to happen. Even though that sounds so ridiculous, but at that point it's purpose and passion. It's not just, hey, I like playing guitar. I like making this $150 check for people. Yeah. Where it goes from, this is what I live for. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I think that's something.
Especially post-COVID, I like that $150 check from people.
Yes. I'm right there with you, man. COVID did a number to all of us musicians and artists.
Everybody.
Yeah, dude. I'll tell you another thing that I think is an essential is you need to have some sort of portfolio. And when I say that, I don't mean some do they call them manila folders or vanilla folders?
I think it's manila.
So I'm not, I don't know. It's not some manila folder. It is how easily accessible are you to the person who wants to look up. If I want to look up Kyle Austin, I'll tell you right now, I can go to Google, type in Kyle Austin. He's going to have a Facebook, an Instagram, a website, a TikTok, a Twitch. He has a really good portfolio if you ask me. But in my opinion, you have to have a website. You need to have something that, let's say that you're wanting to go book your first show. The first thing they're going to say is, you got a business card or do you have a website? Mm-hmm. How can I see your stuff? And that needs, you don't need to say, oh, let me get home and pull some stuff together, or hey, I can send you 4 to 5 different links of my YouTube.
Right.
No, you need to have it all together, easily accessible on all formats. And I think that social media portfolio is I think some of the biggest.
Yeah. And what would be one of the next essential, I would say, goes literally hand in hand with that, because you pretty much already said it, is a social media presence of any sort is so important. Like, I don't know if you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is.
I don't know.
Gary V. He's like, he's a motivational speaker, but he was just like this Russian kid that moved here whenever he was like 9. And then, like, nobody in his family spoke English, but they got a liquor store. And ever since he was 10 years old, he was working in this liquor store, just struggling. He, like, right whenever YouTube came out, he was looking for the best ways to, like, make money for his parents' liquor store. So he came up with a thing called Wine Library TV, and it blew up to be, like, one of the biggest things on YouTube. It was, like, 4 months after YouTube started.
Oh, really?
Invested in Twitter. He invested in Snapchat. He invested in Instagram, Facebook. And now he's like a multimillionaire. He said his one dream is to, like, own the Jets. That's the one thing he wants to do in life.
That is crazy.
But he's like given me, like, such good ideas for any of my social media, which is something I'm going to pass here. Make a social media and then just post anything and everything. If it's like what you're eating, like, this is what I'm having for dinner tonight, or like just went and played some basketball. Like, people care about that as much as you think people
care about you being personal. I was just on the phone with a management company like 2 weeks ago, because I'm wanting to grow more. Like, I'm not stagnant or content by any means. And one of the things they said is, like, I'm looking at your social media, you got great stuff, but they literally told me, they said, make it more personal. And they're like, not everything needs to be some professional picture. Not everything needs to be so picture perfect, because when people see that, they're only seeing a persona versus seeing an actual person that they can relate to and that they can vibe with who they are. Like, I think my favorite is probably Morgan Wallen. The way he uses his Twitter, it's funny. He's just like a bro, like you and me, just ragging on Twitter. And then, like, I don't know, he's just got an assortment of stuff. I think other artists have less, but I think that what you just said hits the nail on the head. Make it look like this is me everyday life, and it's something you're going to make it look like that. You are going to do that. Like, make it.
I just think it's a really good way to like build your portfolio and make you easily findable. The more content you have out there, the more likes you get, the more the more available somebody's going to be able to find you. Like, if you have one YouTube video out, you're way more likely to be found if you have
limited.
100. If you have 100 YouTube videos, like, you're way more likely for one person to find you in those 100 videos versus if you have one.
Right.
And you saw the palette pool. You brought up the palette pool. That was just me like documenting something dumb. I would have done that whether I had social media or not. Like,
right, exactly.
It's just documenting. You just post.
I like that. I also agree.
Yeah.
And then you can do your own research as to what is the best time to post.
Yep.
I know that sounds stupid, but I didn't know that going out. Like, if I'm laying in bed and I just thought of a sweet post, a sweet video, made a cool graphic design that I want to upload, 1 o'clock is not the best time for me to upload that. I know that in the back of my mind, my sweet spot is between 11 a.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. You can find that when you create your Facebook and Instagram. You can create like a business profile. It can tell you all of those kind of leads and facts and statistics that can only improve your stuff. That's something just to think about.
Yeah, I need to look into that, man, because I just post whenever. I should probably look into that.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's going to help. It really does.
I get so excited, like, whenever I make something, especially if it's a video. I'm like, all right, I got to get this out now. Like,
yes, no, I get that. This is what I think is cool, is like we can also, not only are we helping the audience, but we can even help each other. But I'll tell you right now,
this collaboration, folks.
Yeah, like, just think about like when you are on social media, and try and think about when most people are on social media. I'll tell you what I do every morning. When I wake up, before I crawl out of bed, I go through my social medias. Yeah. I for sure do it around lunchtime, and I would say that most people do it around lunchtime who work. And then another time is right after work. And then another, so like those are like my like really close hits for when I post something. But another one that's a sneaker is the 10 p.m. crowd. Yeah. Because it's all those people winding down to bed, and I mean, I know I could be on my phone for hours. Yeah, right
just
before
laying
I go
in
to
bed,
sleep.
just like scrolling, like
flicking
through.
Those are just some tips and tricks I think to look into. Just don't be posting something at like 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think you can get a lot of likes and a lot of traffic, especially if it's a really good post. But I think you could really help yourself out if you waited toward. I don't know. Just check your insights. That's all you got to do.
You're not wrong. I'm definitely guilty of posting something at 3 a.m. because I'll like.
I am too.
Well, I'll work on it and then I'll finish editing it at 3. I'm like, all right, post it. I don't even care. But if you do, make sure you also like advertise at a decent time. You know, like I have like thumbnails and stuff that I'll post like, at lunchtime, or I'll post it at, like you said, at like 3 or something like that. I'll be like, hey, I posted this video last night at 3 a.m. Sorry about the weird time, but here's this now.
Yes, that's good. Yeah. Another thing that I did not think that it mattered, but it does a lot. If you're using Twitter, Facebook, I'm a big Instagram user. That's probably my biggest social media platform. Use your freaking hashtags. Oh my gosh. If you want to get people that are interested and are active followers, like meaning people that will like your stuff, will comment on your stuff, if you use your hashtags, typically those people will look up stuff within those hashtags because that's their interest. They find you through some loophole, and bam, you got a follower that's going to like your shit.
Well, I like
till the end.
Yeah, I just started using, not just started, last year I started using hashtags, but I didn't understand. Like, I knew how Twitter worked, but even if I hashtag something on Twitter, which is almost never now, if I hashtag something on Twitter, I would never like research that hashtag, so I never understood it. Now I get it. Instead of like putting hashtags in my tweets, I search a hashtag, or I go to the trending and I see the hashtags that are trending, and then I'll click it and I'll go find people that tweet, and then I'll just like to respond to a bunch of tweets. So that's how important the hashtags are. Is like, instead of me hoping people will find my hashtag, I'm the one going out and doing the thing.
Right.
So it's the hashtags are important. On Instagram, you can follow a hashtag. So if you follow a hashtag,
and I've done that too.
Yeah, it'll just be like a picture will pop up and be like, somebody used this hashtag, and I've gotten a lot of like fans and like people that have found me on Instagram just from the hashtag. So you're 100% right. Put 7,000 hashtags if you're allowed. Put as many hashtags as you can fit.
And then I would say this is going to be my last essential, and this is going to sound so random, but I think that I would argue that it's one of my number one essentials. And it is get good graphic design. Make your crap, make all your stuff look aesthetic. Like when someone pulls it up, they're like, sell it like you are a signed artist that is a number one charting person. Like, go creep on their Instagrams, their Twitters, their Facebooks. Look at their graphic content and look how it's set up. Not everything is a like if I'm going to create an advertisement for a show or something new that I've got going on, I'll tell you what I won't do. I will not take a selfie. I will not take a just a bullcrap picture and then stick on Times New Roman font that says playing here. Okay, make it look good. Like iPhones now, they have that like blurring background effect that you can use. It's great. There's an app that I use. It's called Fonto that has probably 400 different fonts that can match a lot of the stuff that I kind of go for. Like if I kind of want like a country feel, a rough feel, a clean. Anyway, I know this sounds so stupid, but utilize like your Photoshops, your Adobe Mix Shop, Adobe Lightroom. I know that sounds so stupid and too much, but I promise you that has been probably like one of my, if there's anything that I could say that I have a pretty good base in, it's the graphic design and just the overall looks. Like my website looks clean. It doesn't look cheap. And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but like if it really helps when you're trying to upgrade shows or upgrade in anything. Yeah. You know, if I'm wanting to go next level venue and say, hey, I want to play, this is what I do, this is all that I got, here's my website. They look on it and it looks like I am a signed artist. Yeah. They're going to say, well, I'll be damned. Okay, let's book you.
Yeah, versus something that looks like from the 1990s and like like a white background with like a picture with like no borders just thrown on. Like it's all about looks if you're trying to grow. I'm guilty of I've started like working, especially like I do my own thumbnails and stuff for YouTube. I started working on like trying to build the posters and stuff. But I'm super guilty of because I do like 7,000 things, as I'm sure every artist does. I'm guilty of like, instead of doing a poster, I just like I'll walk around my house and I'll look for something. And I'm like, all right, got to do a pun about this, and I'll just do a pun like video. Like let me like look around like, oh, I hope you guys slide on out to wherever I'm playing tonight. You know, like I'll just like do a dumb.
Well, you got to do something that it's going to lock someone in, whether it's looks or whether it's like comical or whether it's, if you're funny, be funny on your stuff. Show who you are, because people like that. Like if you can make people laugh on social media. If you look cool, make yourself look cool on social media. Like,
if you got abs, dude, take the shirtless pics, bro. I don't got abs, but take them. People want to see.
Dude. Listen, dad bods are back, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Listen, also if you have a dad bod, also get rid of the shirt. Rock the like.
Post that shit too. Country people like that.
Rock the pit viper with a bush light and jorts, dude. I want to see that. I want to see that as much as I've seen somebody work hard for their sculpted body. Like, dude, respect.
Do you have pit vipers?
I don't. No, I don't.
Dude, I looked at buying some the other day. Yeah. Sold out. Like they don't have anything.
Yeah, I think
that's funny.
Through quarantine and stuff, they dropped their stuff by like 40%. But
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, we're going to go ahead and take a break. I think those are all of my essentials, and we're going to come back and bullshit. But before we do that, Kyle is going to play a live performance of one of his songs on his new album, Outlaw. And y'all listen to that. We'll be back.
This is Cheap Shot. Well, it's been a while since I seen your face, girl. I know you come here often. This used to be yours and my favorite place, but I ain't hung up on the way you did me wrong. I'll even buy you a drink if it helps to get you to moving on. No, this ain't no joke. I didn't lose no bet. It wasn't easy to forgive, but I damn sure didn't forget. And I hope that it goes down rough just like the one that you gave me. I won't stick around to see you down when it knocks you off of your feet. So why waste the good stuff? It won't cost me a whole lot, but cheers to you. This one's on me, ready or not. Here comes a cheap shot. Well, a little old crow told me that you were sleeping around. I can't remember if it was Jack or Jim that helped tarnish your crown. There ain't no way, Jose, this gentleman's ever gonna change his mind. You were a bullet dodge, how about a shot of your own medicine this time? And I hope that it goes down rough just like the one that you gave me. I won't stick around to see you down when it knocks you off of your feet. So why waste the good stuff? It won't cost me a whole lot, but cheers to you. This one's on me, ready or not. Here comes a cheap shot.
Dude, this is so
Here
good.
comes a cheap shot. Well, it's getting late and I've had my fun. I hope you drink about all the damage that you've done, and I won't close this bar down just to be your last call. So here comes a lesson written in alcohol. And I hope that it goes down rough just like the one that you gave me. I won't stick around to see you down when it knocks you off your feet. So why waste the good stuff? It won't cost me a whole lot, but cheers to you. This one's on me, ready or not. Here comes a cheap shot. Here comes a cheap shot.
Hell yes. Dude, that... I think it's awesome. First of all, I got a question. What vocal harmony are you using?
Yeah. I think this was going to be my last essential. This is the TC Helicon Play Acoustic.
Yes, bro. Yes,
Yeah.
I have one. So I have the Play Live.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they're like the same thing.
Yeah.
They both have different features in it. I originally had the TC, just the TC Helicon Harmonizer. It's like a blue pedal. Yeah. And then I upgraded to the voice play. Do you care to show, if you are watching this? I'm gonna have him show it to you because I also agree that that's a if you don't have people that can harmonize and you're just getting started and you want to do like some Brooks and Dunn songs, Florida Georgia Line songs, or if you just want like a harmony, you got to get one of these vocal harmonizers. I bought one and they're just they're awesome.
Yeah, I've played, like, obviously, I played lots of places, but most of the time, like, the musicians, I never get like a, hey man, you did great. It's always like, dude, what's that pedal, bro? That pedal's slick. I'm like, yeah, I know it is. I know.
Dude, I ended up putting a little auto tune on mine one time, and I played Pony Live. It was sick.
Dude, so like I have this intricate setup. Like, it's so crazy, like even I don't understand how I got it to work, but I made a YouTube video of all of it put together. But I play like Call of Duty, and I stream it and stuff, and whenever I play, I like turn the auto tune on. I'm like, I just no scoped you, and like everybody's like, dude, no, he's singing and he's no scoping me.
Oh, I'm weak, bro. That is hysterical.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Cheap Shot, that song is awesome. I think it is very well written. Kyle, not to just keep continually blowing smoke up your ass, you got a great voice, man.
Thank you.
And I really like the rhythm in that song.
Thanks, man. It's got a totally different vibe, I think, acoustically. Granted, all my songs do, but it's got a totally different vibe acoustically than it does on the album. So,
dude.
Did you want me to show this pedal? It's gonna be
yes.
Okay.
Yes. Show the pedal.
Okay, you're gonna have to give me a little. So I had my microphone and stuff.
Shit.
I had my microphone and stuff plugged into it, so I'm sure I sound totally different now.
No. I can't tell a difference.
Okay, but yeah, this is the TC Helicon Play Acoustic. I've had this for like three years maybe. This thing is beat to crap. It's like dusty from like all the outdoor venues I play and in like dirt and stuff. So
yeah, no, mine's kind of dirty and grimy too, but they're durable. I mean, I think TC Helicon.
Yes, whatever you're gonna say, I agree. I'm not like by no means am I strictly like a TC Helicon, TC Electronic like fanboy, but I just noticed this the other day on stream. We were talking about somebody was asking me about my pedals. I was like, yeah, I got the TC Helicon Play Acoustic, and I'm using the TC Electronic. Oh, I only have TC Electronic stuff down here. It was like at that time I was like, oh, am I a fanboy? I'm kind of a fanboy, aren't I? But for the looper, I use their Flashback x4, which it's a delay pedal before it's a looper.
Yeah, for the Flashback, it looks like it's got a Back to the Future logo on it.
Yeah, it's blue.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have that as my looper, and by no means is it a looper first, but I just have it and I love it. It's like so simple. I probably would want something more intricate, but it's so simple. It's just like record, play, erase, and like it works beautifully.
Can you use that for your vocals? The Flashback for your vocals? Or do you use it for your guitar? I
like live. I use it for my guitar. Whenever I'm doing stuff here, I have it set up so, like I said, this thing is so intricate and crazy. I have a whole YouTube video and it's insane. But
I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, I have it set up so intricately that I can do vocals. It takes like the sound that comes out of my PC because I add drums and like I have a keyboard here and add piano, and I'll like go record all kinds of stuff with this mic, like mandolin, banjo, fiddle, and all that stuff. So with this, I can record my voice here on the computer, but live it's only acoustic.
Dude, I think it's so cool because I heard it and I was like, I think he uses what I use, and I think it's dope.
This is this one I've had so many like sound guys come up to me afterwards. Like I said, people talk to me more about this pedal than they do like my music. But like I've had so many sound guys come up and be like, dude, that pedal, like I've heard so many harmony pedals, and that one's the best one I've ever heard. Like,
yeah, I'm in agreement. I think this is a really good point to say, hey, if you are starting a band or if you're playing just acoustic shows and you want to beef it up, get that TC Helicon. They got to play live. They got to play acoustic, which is black, and that's what he has. I have the play live. I couldn't tell you what the difference is between the two. I think they're about the same price, if you ask me.
Yeah, and I think this one's just like the old model. Like I said, I've had this one for 3 years or so maybe 4.
Well, they are sweet, awesome investment. Well, Kyle, I think our time, I could honestly talk to you for hours, and I definitely want to do a follow-up podcast with you, and we can talk more about, more about music, more about tips and tricks, do's and don'ts, stories, because I'm sure you got a shit ton of stories, and I know I do too. So, Kyle, thank you so much for coming on here and talking with us, talking with me. It was nice to finally meet someone that yeah, exactly. And on top of that, like, it's cool, like, not, this is going to sound fanboyish, but like I said, like, I started following your stuff, I don't know how long ago, and I was like, if I'm going to start this podcast, I have to have this dude on here. I remember messaging you, and I was like, I don't even know how to go about this, because this is just, like, weird and obsessive. Yeah, and I was like, hey, man. I didn't even know how to go about it. I remember, like, like, on Instagram, like, it can be left on seen, not same thing as read.
Yeah.
I sent this guy like this like long text, like just kind of explaining, because I want him to think like I'm not just like some. Yeah. Because like if you're like me, you get a lot of people that hit you up all the time wanting to do this and that. So like I was just trying to give him the pitch that like, hey, this is legit. Like I really want. And he left me on scene, and so like I ended up like kind of like bugging him, like, hey man, you go text me back,
dude. I know. And listen, like I felt like such an asshole. I'm like, you can ask any person. I'm sure you've seen those like Facebook posts where it's like. Somebody has a gun to your head. They tell you to call one person. If they answer, you're dead. Who do you call? It's me. Like every day I probably get 4 tags. And it's like, I'm calling you. Like I'm so terrible. I'll get a text and I'll like look at it and I'll be like, oh dude, I should respond. Like, let me finish what I'm doing. And then next thing I know, it's like 5 hours later. I'm like, oh no,
dude, okay. I'm right there with you. I about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I finally, like, I don't like cluster. I like to be pretty organized. I had 175 unread messages. Actually, no, 184. And I had to go through all of them, and all of them had the same intention. Like, if I'm reading, because I'll have to go through the conversation to see where I left someone hanging. And it's always like, I had full intentions of replying, and I was going to, like, my heart was there, but I got caught up in one of the 50 other jobs that I do, and, like, it just got forgotten about. So I get
dude.
It, but
you have to go
I thought
back
it was funny.
Read the past messages just to get context of like, what were we talking about? Like,
yes, and then there's the numbers that you don't save right off the bat, and then you got to try and guess who it is.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just, it was funny because I messaged Kyle trying to get him on here, and I looked like a fanboy / like creep, like, hey, you going to text me back yet?
Dude, I'm so glad you messaged me twice, because for obvious reasons that we already talked about, I'm just so guilty of that.
Weak. Well, Kyle, dude. Let's do this again.
Absolutely.
I thought this was very insightful. It was very nice to finally meet you, and we can not only bum knowledge and experience off of each other, but I think we can also help out those people that's listening to hear something that we didn't get to hear.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on here, like, for that sole reason. Like, I like spend heavy amounts of time on YouTube and any like website searching like the best way to do this or something like that. So like having this available for somebody like me is, I think I'm going to listen to every single one of your podcasts, because I want to know like the things like I'm definitely not spending time on that I should be. So
that's dope, dude. Well, I appreciate all of that, man. Can I get one last hell yeah pawpaw in the mic like you're doing?
Hell yeah pawpaw podcast. Actually, hold on. Even with this is why I love this. I do this on online too. Hold on. We can be better. Hell yeah, Papa Podcast. Right,
dude. I'm using that. Can I get like some rights for that,
dude? Yeah, I'll send you a wave. I'll send you a wave link, or a wave file of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hell yeah, Paul. Guys, thanks for listening, and Kyle, thanks again.
Yeah, appreciate you, brother. Well, I never thought it'd come this far. She told me once I stole her heart. I must have took that money and ran. 'cause now I'm an unwanted man. Well, she keeps that sick shot by her bed and dreams of all she's left unsaid. Well, it looks like my time's running thin. If I don't skip town, I'll meet my end. Well, she said this house ain't big enough to keep hold of the both of us. She took my pictures off the wall, said dead or alive, she don't care at all. Her daddy says I'm gonna get it bad. Her sister says she's twice as bad. Her mama don't wanna see me around. Well, it looks like I'm an outlaw now. Got my face up at this small town bar. Says do not serve this dirty low down heart. I ain't got no more friends around here. You own this town, girl, that there's clear. I'm gonna have to ride into the sunset, 'cause she told me I better never forget. She said this house ain't big enough to keep hold of the both of us. She took my pictures off the wall, said dead or alive, she don't care at all. Her daddy says I'm gonna get it bad. Her sister says she's twice as mad. Her mama don't wanna see me around. Well, it looks like I'm an outlaw now. It looks like I'm an outlaw now. Well, her daddy said, boy, you better run, 'cause she's gone missing and so's that gun. She said this house ain't big enough to keep hold of the both of us. She took my pictures off the wall, said dead or alive, she don't care at all. Her daddy says I'm gonna get it bad. Her sister says she's twice as mad. Her mama don't wanna see me around. Well, it looks like I'm an outlaw now. Thought it'd come this far, but she told me once I stole her heart.